For decades, retail managers have pretty much lived by one simple rule: loyalty is everything. But what if I told you that rule, well, what if it's just wrong? In this explainer, we're going to tear apart that common wisdom. We're not using opinions, we're using hard data from marketing science to show you how shoppers actually behave. So this is really the question at the heart of every single retail business, isn't it? How do you get more people to buy more stuff more often? The traditional answer is always build unshakable customer loyalty. But you know what? The data, it tells a very, very different and, frankly, a much more interesting story. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll dive into the big dilemma every retailer is up against. Then, we'll look at the hard evidence of how people really shop. After that, we'll unpack 3 fundamental laws of shopping, see how they work in the real world versus online, and we'll wrap up with a brand new playbook for measuring what actually matters. All right, let's dive right in and tackle the biggest myth in all of retail. I mean, think about it. The entire modern marketing machine, we're talking CRM systems, loyalty programs, the whole shebang, it's all built on this one single idea, that the loyal shopper is king. I mean, this is the dream, isn't it? The idea that you can create this tribe of super fans who would never, ever even think about shopping with your competitors. And so the strategy becomes, let's pour all our energy into this core group, make them even more loyal, get them to buy just one more thing. It feels so right, so logical, but it's a trap. Okay, so if that's the myth, what does the actual evidence say? Let's just push all those assumptions to the side for a second and look at what thousands and thousands of real shopping trips tell us. And trust me, this is where things get really, really interesting. So take a look at this table. It reveals a pretty startling truth about so-called loyalty. What you're looking at is data that shows where else a store's customers are spending their money. More than half the people who shop at department store A, yeah, they also shop at department store B. Your customers aren't exclusive, they're shopping around. And this isn't just a one-off thing. It is a predictable pattern you see across all of retail. And this quote right here, it just perfectly captures the reality of the situation. People have a set of stores they like, a kind of portfolio that they switch between. They aren't loyal to you specifically. They're loyal to their own needs and convenience. And what's wild is that this behavior is so predictable, it's almost like a law of physics for shopping. Which brings us right to the heart of this whole thing. Look, if we can just accept the fact that shoppers aren't these perfectly loyal creatures we wish they were, then we can start building our strategy around 3 evidence-based laws that describe how they actually behave. Okay, law number 1, the law of duplication. It's simple. Your customers are also your competitors' customers, period. And the strategic bombshell here is that real growth, it doesn't come from trying to squeeze more money out of your existing fans. It comes from reaching more people, especially those light buyers who only shop with you once in a blue moon. Your real job is to make it unbelievably easy for them to pick you that one time. All right, law number 2 is the shopping rate law. Now, this one might sound kind of backwards. Don't you want people to hang around, browse for hours? Well, the evidence says a clear no. The most successful stores are the most efficient stores. The easier and faster you make it for a shopper to grab what they want, pay, and get out, the more money you make. It's all about speed and efficiency, not dwell time. And you can see that direct, powerful connection right here in this chart. As the speed of spending goes up, which is just another way of saying shopper efficiency, so do the store's total sales. It's a straight line. Every single barrier you can remove, whether it's a confusing aisle or a long checkout line, it literally adds money to your bottom line. And finally, we've got the few items law. We all have this mental image of a shopper on a huge, weekly, stock-up mission with a cart just overflowing with stuff. And sure, those trips happen, but they are absolutely the exception, not the rule. The overwhelming majority of shopping trips are for just a few things. I mean, look at this. In pretty much any typical data set, a massive chunk of all shopping trips, we're talking over 60%, are for just 1 to 3 items. So what does that really mean? It means that for most people, most of the time, the number one priority is get in, get the thing, and get out fast. Convenience isn't just a nice feature, it's the whole product. So the big question is, how do these laws, which were discovered in the world of brick-and-mortar stores, apply to the digital world? Well, the answer is perfectly. The core principles are exactly the same. The goal, no matter where you are, is identical. Make buying easy. In a physical store, that means a great location, clear aisles, and super fast checkouts. Online,
The tactics change, but the goal doesn't. A great location is a high search ranking. A clear layout is simple website navigation and a great search bar. And a fast checkout, that's all about having as few clicks as possible. Reducing friction is the name of the game, period.
Okay, so if our entire strategy has to change, then what we measure has to change too. Chasing those old school loyalty scores can seriously lead you down the wrong path. So here's a new evidence-based playbook for what you should be measuring instead. First step, you need to measure your physical availability. Just ask, are you easy to find? And I don't just mean store locations. I'm talking about opening hours, your web traffic, where you pop up in search results. Second, measure mental availability. Are you easy to think of? This is all about brand awareness. Do people even remember you exist when they need something you sell? And third, measure your ease of purchase. Track everything. Checkout time, clicks to buy, how long it takes to find something in the store. Measure the friction. These are the metrics that actually line up with how people really shop. And that really leaves us with one final, and I think critical question to ask yourself and your team. Are your metrics, is your entire strategy designed for how you wish shoppers would behave, or is it designed for how they really behave? Are you building a business based on a myth or on reality? The evidence is pretty darn clear. Now, the choice is yours.